Yeah, the producer said that it's time for us to go.
All
Um,
right.
what's going on, Tar Heels, Jeff, Allen, Hill Brothers, Full Count Carolina? It's a mouthful, but it's fun to talk about.
Absolutely.
How's it going tonight, Jeff? How's it going? How's it going?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Trying to trying to get things trying to get things straight.
Yeah.
Get ready for get ready for the another volleyball tournament weekend. So
Oh, you're heading down to Charlotte, right? Heading down to
no,
Charlotte?
no, actually, no. This weekend is Rocky Mount. So
Rocky Mount.
it's not
Okay.
yeah, which actually is only like hour and 20 minutes. So it's not a bad
Right.
trip,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's a Saturday Sunday that deal again. So
Mm.
getting
Well,
ready, but always baseball to talk about. It does mess me up
it's
because of course I'm gonna miss a weekend series, a home weekend
you're gonna miss
series.
the whole
So,
series. The Lemoyne series. You're gonna miss it.
yeah, because we're leaving. We leave. We're leaving tomorrow after I pick my daughter up from school. After I pick my daughter up from
Right.
school. So yeah, and then we
Yeah.
won't be back till good gracious knows when Sunday night. So
Right.
depends on how long we play. So yeah,
Um.
if you want tickets,
I'd love to, brother. I really would. I really would.
just
I'd
saying.
love to. My my 14-year-old, he catches for the varsity team.
That's right. I remember. Okay.
So um they got like a preseason tournament locally,
Uh huh.
and so we'll be busy Friday. Well, Friday he's
Um,
out of town. Him and my
oh, that's
wife
right.
went to a concert in Nashville with my in-laws, and they're coming home Friday. But he's going to miss the
What,
first game of the tournament.
what show they go to?
And
What concert?
oh, it was not a country singer. Little Man Jay.
Okay, I don't know that one. All right.
Um, I don't. You just have to look him up. Little Man
Okay, I
Jay.
will. All right, I will.
Um, they got to meet him. He did like a
Oh,
little
that's cool.
shout out video for
That's always cool.
my Bryson, my 7-year-old. But anyway,
Hmm.
baseball. He'll be back home Friday. Saturday he'll be playing baseball, and then we'll see what happens on Sunday. Um, but yeah, so baseball for the 14-year-old, baseball for the 7-year-old. It's baseball on TV and softball on TV. And man, I love the baseball introduction video that we did.
That's a great
But
video.
I'm gonna have to redo it. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna have to add something to it, aren't you? What are we
I,
talking about?
there's no way around it. And
You have to.
when I started this show, when we pro decided is this something that we're going to dive into amongst the other stuff we started covering, and it's a favorite sport for you, it's a favorite sport for me. I sat down and started pulling clips, and when I pulled it, the music lined up pretty much
Hmm.
perfectly with how
Oh
how
yeah.
like how the videos and still shots flowed.
Hmm.
And then it went into production. But after the production, I was like, I don't have any softball clips in here. And when we was discussing how the show would run, it was called Full Count Carolina because we, full count 3-2,
Yeah.
we said we was going to cover the softball team.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I never ever got softball videos to put in there. So I don't know. Maybe I'll work on it Friday. When I get off work. And
this is a little peek behind the curtain, y'all, for this. I tell you one thing you got to do. Do this. If you're not gonna, if you don't put anything else in there, you gotta put a clip of the home run celebration. The softball home run celebration has to be in there.
Okay.
And that's, they running down the line, they get to the plate, they jump, they jump into the line of the team and they bounce them up. Yeah, you got to have that in there. That's awesome. So anyway.
And this is just great content. I personally like it.
I think,
and when you put all that in there, I think the music dynamic's going to have to change.
Yeah, that's true though, because you're right. I mean, you talk about at the beginning, or when you were talking about how it just lined up. It seemed to line up perfectly, and you're gonna, you have to kind of play with it and see what you get.
That video, the one we have currently, it's a hype video, but it's more like, I don't know. It's like like nobody's like being exuberant or super energetic. Like, I don't know. That video fit that music, and
well played. See what you find. See what you find.
But I'm gonna work on it. I should have put softball in there to begin with, full disclosure. But at the time, I had what I had, and I was running with it, and I thought it turned out great. I'm not going to delete it. I'll keep it.
No.
Maybe I'll just make a softball one, and we'll just run 2 back to back. I don't know.
That could be done too, though. That might be bad. That might be a bad idea. Get their own feel for each.
I don't know.
Peek behind the production curtain, y'all. There you go.
You got a recorded production meeting.
There you go.
8 minutes of the show, a recorded production meeting.
There you go.
For y'all too.
That's the good
and
stuff.
if you've made it 8 minutes into the show and haven't been like, you know what, these dudes ain't talking anything about baseball. If you have any thoughts on if you have a particular clip from softball that you would like to see in the introduction video for Full Count Carolina, shoot us a message on Twitter, shoot us a message on Instagram. Don't really check Instagram for Hill Brothers, so don't do that. Twitter DMs are wide open. You know who Jeff is on Twitter. Let us know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Carolina softball.
Let's talk, man.
There's a freaking train, like the train on the Polar Express where the pin has come out of the throttle control and they're just barreling down the hill, completely out of control. Dude, they're 15-0.
15-0, man. Finally, best start in program history. Finally cracked out of the, when you've heard me talk about baseball rankings and before, there's a lot of different little polls that, publications and things like that have polls out. Did finally crack the top 25 in one of those this past week, which was the Softball America poll. Got number 25 on that. Received some votes in received votes in D1 baseball or D1 softball poll. Received votes in the ESPN.com coaches poll, which really low votes though. I mean, really low down, like 5 votes and 2 votes or something like that. And I would have to guess that that's because the strength of, let's be honest, the strength of schedule is pretty is low. It's like
Right.
bottom 30 in the country right now. But as somebody point out, as I saw somebody point out, as I saw somebody point out on social media the other day, who wasn't a Carolina fan, in fact, was saying, hey, y'all, your offense is great and all, but you're bottom 30 in the poll, but then again, or bottom 30 in strength of schedule, but then again, you still got to hit, and credit to y'all. You haven't done that. I mean, you still got to hit, you still got to pitch, and we're still doing that. I mean, we're offensive juggernaut right now. So, and we've won some close games too, though. We've not every game's been a blowout. We've shown.
Yeah, I mean,
the team has shown.
It just had a walk off.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've had a walk off. We had a walk off last week. We had yesterday was a 5-2 9-inning game against Elon. So they're winning the close ones too. When things aren't always there, we're still finding a way to win them. But when you talk softball, especially when you talk the past week of softball, you got to immediately go to out of everybody. You got to immediately give a shout out to Emily Leggett. I mean,
100%, dude.
100%. So let's look. So look at this. AC, announced on Monday, ACC softball player, or Tuesday, ACC softball player of the week. Also announced this week, softball on SI, the Sports Illustrated player of the week, national player of the week, and the Louisville Slugger NFCA national player of the week. And you look at that and try this on for size. So last week, the week that earned her those awards, 11 for 18 from the plate, 14 RBI, 9 runs, 3 doubles, 5 home runs, including a grand slam against Central, and a walk-off 2-run homer against App State. 1611 slugging percentage, 1.611 slugging percentage, and a perfect fielding percentage. Yeah, there you go. I mean,
if you go to Go Heels and go to the softball section and then click on the news tab, I mean, her name is on all of them, right? Up and down. Leggett homers again. Sophomore moves to 14-0. Emily Leggett walks off App State. Softball improves to 13-0. Sweeps doubleheader. I mean, her fingerprints are all over this team. I think I read she did an interview with Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, I saw that today, I think.
Yeah, I saw it. I think today's when I saw it as well. And it's not just Emily. It's, the whole team.
Whole team. Yeah.
You got Parrish throws a no-hitter. Come on, dude.
You got to mention that too. Good call.
And that's the only thing I can figure as to why this team isn't getting any love is because the strength of schedule is not great.
Yeah, it's not.
At the same time, you're beating teams 15-3, 11-3, 8-2, 8-1, 11-0, 24-0, 20-0.
Your run rule in a lot of teams. That's a lot of run
6-0, 13-0, 10-0, 11-1. Yeah, okay. App State, that's a little better competition, and like everybody's baseball, softball, they're funny sports. You hit a 2-run home run to walk them off. Come on, man. Princeton 5-2, Elon 5-2. The body of work is there. They're 15-0. They're scoring. I think we went over it last week. The amount of runs they've scored versus the amount of runs. It's like 11-1.
Okay, this is the current, and this is the current stat on that differential that we mentioned. Because last week when we talked, last Thursday when we recorded, it was 130 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly. Right
Yep, I
now
believe
it
so.
stands. Right now it stands at 156 to 18.
What else does committee need to see?
Yeah, here's the thing, and we're gonna and this week, ACC play starts this week. We're gonna get BC. We're gonna get is it BC?
Yeah,
Yeah,
BC Friday. They
it is.
start
I pulled
ACC
up
play Friday.
I pulled up the wrong thing over here.
Yeah, BC weekend series Friday.
Yeah, and BC is coming in, and BC is not BC has not had a strong start to the season. Let's be honest, but it's still ACC play. So BC right now is sitting at 5-10. But it's ACC play. So we'll, if we go in and sweep them and do it pretty convincingly, with the style points, so to speak,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
still you gotta keep, we can only play the people on the schedule. We can, and you play them. That's all you can do. You play them and you keep rolling everybody.
Listen, total bases 301 to 72.
Yeah.
I don't know how they keep them out, to be honest.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, you can sit there and say that they're not playing the greatest competition, but there's a basketball team that's in like Division III that's undefeated, and they're ranked in the top 25. Yeah. Come on, man.
And check this. This is another stat that's, and I mentioned again. I mentioned last week about how the home run record, the single season home run record, which I think is 92, is in serious jeopardy. We didn't hit last year or last season. And the 92 record, the 92 home runs in a season was a 2015 record, if I remember correctly. But last season, we didn't reach 30 home runs until the game 31 of the season. We are 15-0 now, and we have 36 home runs as a team
in the first 3 weeks of the season.
15 games, 36 home runs. That home run record is getting obliterated. And I said it last week again. We rewrote a lot of the records. A lot of the most of the offensive record book got rewritten last year. They're going to do it. They're going to break them again. They're going to break them again. And the ones they didn't break, they're probably going to break this year. If everything stays as it is. And again, play is going to get tougher when we get into the heart of the ACC because we've talked about it. The ACC is tough. And we were picked to finish 7th. And we play 5 of the 6 teams, and our conference schedule is 5 of the 6 teams ahead of us in the preseason coaches poll. Ranked the toughest schedule in the ACC, conference schedule in the ACC. So we got our work cut out for us. But, man, this staff has done Coach Smith and the staff has done a phenomenal job. They hit the portal right. They recruit out of high school right. It's very reminiscent now of the baseball team and how Coach Forbes and staff have been hitting the portal just right for baseball and recruiting. There's so many similarities with how things have come together and how the staff is hitting things. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Is softball a non-ticketed sport? It is. You don't even have
correct.
to have a ticket to go to this thing.
It is still not. It is one of the ones. Carolina athletics the last couple years has, the non-ticketed sports are decreasing little by little. Within the last 2 years, gymnastics, volleyball, and wrestling have all become ticketed sports where they used to not be. So the numbers are, they're getting fewer and fewer, but let's be fair. The tickets are still cheap, and it's all about money. You need the revenue. You need revenue. The tickets are still cheap.
Anything's better than nothing,
Right.
Right. But if you're in Chapel Hill and the softball team's playing, and you're a fan of UNC athletics, there's no reason to take a trip out to the ballpark, grab a hot dog, a nice Coca-Cola,
Yeah. Anderson
or
Stadium.
or
Anderson Stadium, just a little bit off campus, right off Raleigh Road. You'll see signs pointing to it. It's a good little area.
or
Good little area.
beer, if that's one of them things you like to go swallow your hot dog down with.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, get out there,
Get out there.
support them. They're another good team on campus,
Mm-hmm.
and get out there and show support. I mean,
Yep.
the more winning that happens around softball, the more high level softball players will start, wanting to come to UNC.
Yeah. And the other thing, go ahead. Sorry.
You're the bet. I mean, this is stupid what I'm about to say, but the better your players are, the further you can advance into the postseason.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say you're going to turn into a wagon like Oklahoma overnight. No, I mean,
No, you're
Oklahoma
not. No, you're
is Oklahoma. I mean,
yeah.
But that doesn't mean North Carolina can't get the athletes in to compete against the likes of the Oklahomas and the Texases and the powerhouses of the softball world.
No doubt.
Man, I like to see it, man. Like I said, I like softball. Played it as an adult. Played baseball as a school age kid. I like watching it. I watch it when I can find it on ACC Network Extra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
so kudos to them, man. 15-0, that's awesome.
Yeah, and and also talking about going out and supporting and everything, yeah, I mean that's the big thing. Just do what you can to support the program. Their Coach Smith has pointed out, there's some things that the program wants to do to make Anderson Stadium spruce it up a little bit, things like that. So going out to these games and supporting them, concessions, things like that. Even, I mean, if you feel so inclined, even when it comes to give UNC in the big give day in March, softball general operating fund, a good place for donations.
They even have a spot right on the Go Hills. You can donate directly to Softball Friends. It's called the On Deck Club. If you have the financial means to be a part of the On Deck Club, I'm sure they'll put that money to good use.
Absolutely. Cool, man. Well, what do you say we kick into some baseball?
Let's kick into some baseball.
Anything
happened this weekend? I'm gonna be honest. It was me and my wife had a date night on Saturday. So I missed whatever happened on Saturday and Sunday.
Well,
you got to watch 5 innings of baseball. But North Carolina,
that was a trip in and of itself. Oh my gosh,
man, and I'm on record, and maybe I spoke it into existence. I don't know if I did. I sincerely apologize, Diamond Hills. I was on record last week saying that ECU, in my eyes, had fallen off from what they had been in previous years. Well, North Carolina comes out Friday night and run rules them, and I'm like, yeah, this is a series sweep, So I'm watching the Syracuse game, and then we go to the Mountain Pot for dinner up in Charlotte, and I don't got my notifications for Twitter turned on, so and ESPN's app is absolutely awful when it comes to college baseball coverage. So
yeah, you can't mess with that. Yeah.
So I
D1 baseball app is the best thing as far as college baseball goes. So
we get done eating at the restaurant and waiting on the truck to get there, and I pull out my phone hop on the Twitter machine and it says North Carolina lost 3-10. I'm like, oh God. I scrolled through Carolina baseball. It just happened. It looked like it was one of them days. North Carolina just couldn't find the bats. Gallagher hit that 3-run home run to tie it, and then it was just downhill after that.
Yeah,
But
and I'll
you
say
were
this.
at that game, and
I was at the Saturday game at the DBAP in Durham.
yeah, how was it?
You know what? It was one of those things that you were on edge the whole time, man. You were on edge the whole time. And I pointed out last week when we previewed it. I think only one of the preseason publications had ECU in the top 25, and that Baseball America had them 24. They come out, they lose their first series to, I can't even remember who it is at this point.
Yeah.
Somebody they shouldn't have lost to, but it's baseball.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back to Friday night because you talked about the run rule and everything. You talk about all that Friday night, but like DeCaro.
Oh yeah.
DeCaro Friday night. It was a 8-inning run rule, but complete game. I mean, so basically, complete game shutout. CG shut piece, as Dallas Braden had termed it. But yeah, complete game, 8 innings, 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, which huge. I mean, and that when we talk about the walks, we'll get into it a little bit later this week about some of the action, particularly yesterday, against in our game yesterday. We'll a little bit about that and how walks really can kill you. But yeah. Jason was brilliant, which that's kind of what we come to expect. That's what we come to expect. Flip the page though, like you were talking about Saturday. I will say this: for as much as I really don't like them, the ECU fans show out.
They do.
I'll give them credit. I mean, credit where it's due. They show out. They really do. They outnumbered us. They outnumbered us in DBAP easily.
Yep. There's a good many that turned out Sunday.
So and Sunday I didn't. Again, this is one of those things that if we're not at a tournament on Sunday at this part of the season anyway, where my daughter has practice in the afternoon,
right.
So we're not making Sunday games right now, even at home, even if we don't have tournaments. So, but yeah. I mean, they showed out, and we never just could. You had the feeling we just couldn't quite get it together. Pitching, we were shaky. And I didn't understand. I was looking at as the lineup was going up, and as ECU was playing, I'm sitting there thinking, how did they lose? Looking at in particular, looking at the batting averages for most of their starting lineup, I'm going, how did they freaking lose? I was like, these dudes are batting 400. I mean, there was only 3 guys that were below 200. The rest of them were 3 or 4. And I know it's early in the season, but there's still a lot of them there. And seeing them firsthand, that lineup can hit. That is a good offensive lineup. It is. But Gavin got that home run just over the top, over the line on the Blue Monster and left. Just over it. I mean, it didn't clear. It was right there. I thought it was going to bounce off the wall. I didn't think it was going to clear it. But and then of course we get the momentum going. But then again, we just couldn't. Man, we couldn't keep them off. We couldn't keep them off the bases. So it's just one of those things that you hate to see. We just couldn't keep them off the bases. Yeah. So, and then you turn the page to Sunday.
And I think it's like the most the most bizarre thing that could have happened because baseball generally don't have ties. I think the last tie that UNC had, man, I don't even know. I'm not even sure when.
It
For some
was.
reason,
I have the stat right here. Actually, it was it was actually April 17th of 05. It was a 10th inning game in the 10th inning against Miami that was called early due to a set curfew.
wow.
And that was and before that, it was 1989.
Yeah, see, I had 89 in my brain, but I didn't want to misspeak.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, so I mean, and it's like the most Carolina ECU thing that you can have is a literal tie. Like you tie the rubber match, so both teams walk out of that weekend series 1-1 and 1. It's a literal tie.
It's the worst.
And
It's the worst thing in the world. And you
it's
know what's even
terrible.
worse?
Listening to Pirates fans on Twitter.
Oh my goodness gracious! That's exactly what I was
Oh,
going to say, brother.
jeez,
Like,
it's awful.
there
If
were
you
people.
catch any mentions,
There were people on there that like, oh, Carolina conveniently, they conveniently waited till after they tied the game to then for it to get called. First of all, when the weather delay hits initially, the call for the weather delay right off the bat is made by the umpire. It's not neither. That decision has nothing to do with either team. That's an umpire call. Now, later on, it's an agreement between the teams and everything. But the thing that ECU fans were losing in that is if we hadn't completed that 5th inning, it's not even a game. It's not even an actual recognized game. Yeah. So, we're
because
not
North Carolina finished the 5th, it was made it official.
It's the same thing. There was the same thing last year. The final home series last year against State. We played Saturday. We were split with a 1-1, and then the Sunday the rubber match game, third game of the series, actually this time never got started because of the weather. And that was the same thing. State fans, Carolina didn't want to take the L in the series. Carolina didn't want to take the L in the series. They're scared.
State fans.
We're not, dude. They are ECU and State fans are one and the same for the most part. They're A and B.
They probably have flags outside of their house because they probably went to ECU but pulled for State. So they have like that purple and red flag with both mascots on the flag. Yeah. It doesn't even say house divided. It probably says
living together in harmony.
It probably says something like joint marriage or something. I don't know.
I get it. They're bad Carolina fans, blah, 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 whatever. Bottom line is the whole
ABC, it was just anybody but Carolina.
It was pure comedy to think that we're ducking anybody. Our guys wanted to finish out. We wanted to finish. We're confident. We're as confident as anybody, and you can't tell me that we didn't want to play that game if at all possible. We wanted to get the win because we believed we could win. So we're not. Forbes isn't out there. Forbes isn't out there lobbying for it not to play. It's just one of those things. I mean, I wasn't there. I wasn't there to see if there was conversation, but like I said last year, at one point last year, in the State game last year, the State one that we wound up not playing, I sat there in the State because I sat there until they called it. So we were there my daughter and I were there for a couple hours at least until they finally said we ain't playing. But we watched Forbes and Avent and the home plate umpire, the crew chief, go out and walk the outfield multiple times, looking at spots that were not good and things like that. That was a decision they made. That decision again. It's a decision they made together. They walked the outfield. They looked at spots. There were spots that Avent obviously was in that instance was obviously concerned with. I wasn't there Sunday, to see that happen, but I'm sure it was something to that effect. I mean, that's generally what happens. So anyway.
Yeah, I listened to a. Give me a second. I gotta open these animal crackers for Jackson.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, kids, yeah.
Yeah. Now he's gonna sit here right beside me and watch now.
Okay.
This goes back to my wife being in Nashville. But anyway, I heard an interview with Coach, and he said that him and I can't remember he used Coach's name, but they were talking.
Cliff Godwin.
Yeah, they were talking about whether to reconvene the game or whatever, and their concern was the time that it was going to get started, but their more concern was that it was the temperature, the temperature, trying to get your guys warmed back up. You don't want to pull a hamstring because he was talking about both coaches obviously are competitive and want to win, but when you're thinking about your kids that have a long season ahead, there's no reason to put them back out on the field when it's, I think he said 29 degrees.
Yeah, and it was with the wind that day, because the wind in this area that day, especially in the Durham Chapel Hill area, it was kicking. I mean, it was very windy. So that's a whole nother issue that you throw into there. But anyway, that is what it is. The 1-1-1,
Yeah, it's just a perfect ending to a terrible setup.
Yeah, I mean,
it should just be three in one place and 3 at the other place next season.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I mean, I've said that for the last couple of weeks, especially the home neutral home site series and the same thing. We've done it like this for several years now. I, for one, think it's garbage. I really do. I wish that if we're going to play them on a weekend series and not just a midweek game, which I don't have any problem with playing them a midweek. I mean, I don't have any problem early in the season, when we're doing our pre-ACC stuff. I don't have any problem playing them in a full weekend series. It really just needs to trade off if we're going to do it home and home and not do it all in one series. I hate it. I really just don't like it. So, anyway.
Yeah, fast forward that thing to Tuesday. You take on NC-A&T, 9-1.
Yeah, they're coming in 2-5. They were at that point. They were 2-5 coming into.
Yes, it wasn't
coming into that.
It wasn't great,
It's what you would expect, though. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what you get in the midweek games. The thing, people that I've seen a lot of this also recently on social media, as college baseball is starting to become more popular, there are people that are out there and they get lost in the midweek game thing and lose. Like so-and-so team a high-ranked team loses a midweek game. Well, it's not ideal because you don't want to lose ever, but what people don't realize is these midweek games are, those are games that you're trying things out, obviously don't have your weekend starters. You're, a lot of times, especially if you got 2 games if you got a Tuesday and a Wednesday's a bullpen game most of the time.
Yep.
It's just people I love that people are starting to follow the sport now. And as they do, and as they interact with stuff on social media and all these and other outlets, they'll start to pick up and learn, what it's about and what the midweek games are really about. But midweek games, you're gonna see some upsets. I mean, you will. There were a bunch of them this past week. A bunch of highly ranked teams, like number 1 and 2 both, if I'm not mistaken, like lost midweek games. It happens. It happens. It's basically that really
Caden
is no
Glauber, though.
Man, that kid, and
Man, he
that
looked
kid, man,
good.
and the thing that people that a lot of people don't realize about this kid is this kid just turned 18. He's supposed to be a
Mhm.
senior in high school right now. He graduated early. He's supposed
Yep.
to be a senior in high school. He's kind of like DeCaro was, because DeCaro
Yeah.
graduated a year early, and DeCaro was 17 almost his whole freshman year. He didn't turn 18 until the end of the baseball season, pretty much his
Yeah, and
freshman
he
year.
was a weekend starter. Let that
And
sink in.
Caden, I thought, and I said it in the preview episode that we did, that I was actually there was some thought, and I had some expectation that Caden might be a midweek starter.
Mhm.
But the thing that's proved and that's I like him better in the role he's been playing now.
That extended reliever.
I like that relief out of the bullpen role he's playing now, like on the weekends especially. He's a valuable guy. And he's got a live arm. He's got a live arm. Stuff's good. He's a freshman. Things are gonna he's a freshman, so and he's a pitcher. I mean, even which is to say that you're gonna have your rough outings. See Walker McDuffie yesterday.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
Walker hasn't looked sharp really this year. That he hasn't looked that sharp yet.
Yeah, he hasn't come out like he went out.
Right.
He didn't
But
come back like he left.
well, his last he was shaky in that last game of the Super. He was shaky too.
Yeah, he was.
But then again, you got to think about it. We wouldn't have been where we were last year without him. And you're going to have that from time to time. You just are. It's like hitters. Sometimes your bat's just not going to be there. Pitchers, sometimes your stuff's not going to be there. You have to expect that. It's how they work through it and how they bounce back from it in their next outings and like that tells the real story. But I mean, we walked a small village yesterday, particularly against VCU. We walked everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean,
VCU's got a good team.
And VCU, and if I'm not mistaken, did VCU beat us in a midweek game 3 years or so ago? They might have.
We did lose to VCU.
It's in my memory. That 3 or so years
point.
ago we lost to them in a midweek game. Again, it's a midweek game. I'm not saying losses don't matter. I'm just saying you take them with a grain of salt for the most part, because the baseball season is long and there is a point to the midweek games and the strategy that coaches generally have. But yeah, the other thing that's I'll say one thing coming out of the games recently, while we had talked about it in the preview, and while in fall ball, Boston Flannery had looked like his command was coming around.
Yeah.
It's still not. He's still having some trouble. But again, the kid has got a live arm.
He does.
He's just got to get the control worked out. And I'm fine with him working it. That's what a midweek game is for, in my opinion. It was a little weird to me that we put him in on Saturday against ECU. He was one of the bullpen arms that came in Saturday against ECU. That was a little bit of a puzzling move to me, given his struggles and that he hasn't solidified his command yet. I kind of wondered why we did that in that moment. But that's.
I'll tell you what, if the opposing team wasn't put on notice, they better put on notice. If you get too far away from the first base,
oh my gosh,
dude, he's going to get you. You better not flirt too far from the bag.
That dude's got a pick off. That dude's got a pickoff move, don't he? Man,
dude,
twice.
You're going to get hosed.
Twice. And that's a big man. Yeah. That was so big too. That was key, man. That was so key. If not for that,
right-hander. It's not like it's like it's a left, like Max Fried and his left-handed pickoff move. He's a right-hander.
Right. Yeah. That's impressive. And, you know, those were, you know, it's those two instances should not get lost in the shuffle, because the way the guys were on base, you know, those were that huge plays. You know, that game easily could go the other way and get out of control against not in our favor if that does not happen. So, you know, just it's a play you don't see it that often. I mean,
No, you don't. And
pickoffs are not something. Pickoffs are not something that you see all the time. I mean, you can go a good while and not see one, but then 2 in one game. Jeez, that's a statistical anomaly right there. I mean, it really is.
Yeah. And then North Carolina kicks off the weekend series with Lemoyne on Friday.
This is a Lemoyne. This is a. Go ahead. Sorry, I stepped on.
No, go ahead.
This is the Lemoyne team that's in the Northeastern Conference. Hasn't been a Division I squad. Second year back, Division I level last spring. 0-6 this year. So, you know, you're coming into this. It sets up. I mean, it's a typical kind of typical early season series that you're going to see. But you know, with baseball, you can't afford to take anybody lightly, because we've talked about it a million times. Baseball is baseball, and strange things happen in baseball, and it doesn't take a lot for it to go downhill really fast. So, you know, 0-6. You know, they've got, you know, looking at their lineup, you know, as a team, they're hitting 239 as a team. They only have one homer. So, but they've got a few guys, you know, they've got best hitters hitting 429. A lot of singles. He looks to be mainly a singles guy. He only has one extra base hit. Well, then they've got three other guys that are over 300 or above. So again, it's a lineup. They're still D1 baseball players. I don't care where they play.
Yeah. So they played 6 games and they've given up 11, 16, 13, 13, 5, and 20 runs respectively.
Yeah.
They've lost 3 games to JMU and 3 games to Tarleton State University. 20-3, 5-4, 13-8, 13-11, 16-1, 11-4.
Yeah. So again, on paper, okay, you would think, okay, we're probably going to roll these guys all 3 games. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Realizing it's baseball.
Yeah.
You know, they've scored 31 runs this year. They've given up 78. You were just talking about the numbers there. Their team ERA is above 13.
I mean, it's hard not to, and every one of your games has had double-figure runs except for one.
Yeah. I mean, they've walked 47. Their staff has walked 47 batters, struck out only 27 in 44 innings of work total. Yeah. So I mean, and their batting average, batting average against is what, 359. So it sets up to be a really good offensive series for us. Hopefully it plays out like that. I would like to see us come out and just impose our will and make quick work of it. You know, go home after
2 hours of baseball.
You know, get in that 7 innings and go home each of those 3 games. Again, it's baseball though, and you know, they are a D1 school. I don't care what the record says. So you give them their due preparation, because anything can happen. But that's what you would expect to happen. And I think a lot of, if we see some battles there and closer than expected games, we're going to have fans. You're going to have fans coming out of the woodwork complaining about stuff. But early in the season, you know, that's, I get it. I get it for the reason of, you know, you would think you should battle them, you should throttle them, but it is early season. Things work out. You know, we'll see. So I have confidence. I think we will roll them all 3 games. I will call that. I'll say.
Yeah,
That's
I hope prediction.
so. That's my prediction, as well as my hope. But if we don't, it's not gonna be the end of the world. The sky won't be falling. We're still a very good team. Still got a long way to go. And it's these series are a good chance to. It's kind of like a little extended midweek series almost, in that it's a chance maybe for us to try some different things, right?
Get some of them younger arms in there. I did hear Coach Forbes say that Ryan would start Saturday and Boaz would be the Sunday starter. So he's flipping those 2 around.
I hadn't seen that. I thought that was my projection was that's how it was going to be to start the season, and it didn't, because I was actually thinking that was what it was going to be at the very beginning. And I was wrong on that one during the preview show, I think, because I said that on the preview, and then I turned out to be wrong. So we'll see. Yeah. A chance to mess with left field a little more like we've done. We've been in and out on left field a little bit to try some different stuff. Colin and Macon seem to be it seems to be with the DH pretty set right now, because at least what it's been so far is Colin or Macon, whichever one's not catching, is DHing, and that's actually worked out pretty well.
It has. Chance for Cooper to really get that bat hot. But man, his defense is ridiculous.
The play he had, the diving stop, stop the other night. I think it was the Tuesday game?
I think so.
Against A&T, the diving stop at third, step on the bag, throw across the diamond for the double play.
Unreal.
Forbes called that the play of the game, if I'm not mistaken, in his interview. And that was a big defensive play. That ball gets down the line. Different game.
Yeah.
That's why they call it the hot corner, though, right? Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
But guys playing some defense, center field, showing a hole, just
holes,
over the shoulder catches at the fence. Dude, it's just a credit to Scott Forbes and the coaching staff finding these guys and just reloading it defensively year after year.
And I said that a couple weeks ago. When is we've had the run of defensive center fielders we've had, the last 3 defensive center fielders we've had in the defense they could play. Obviously 2-time defensive player of the year, Vance Honeycutt in the ACC, different story. I'm going to shout him out. I'm going to stop this real quick.
Go ahead.
Vance Honeycutt, goodness gracious. Everybody knows Vance's struggles. The knock on Vance when he got drafted was his strikeout rate really high.
Mm-hmm.
First full season in the minors last year, high A ball, it was above 40%. His batting average was like 170. Only hit like 2 homers. But it was his defense. It's his defense and his speed. When he does get walks, he wreaks havoc on the base pass, and he walked a decent bit. Just is those 2, his speed and his defense, make him so that he's still a viable option going forward, and a chance to getting there if the bat could just pick up. Well, in the offseason, he's said he's stronger, he's faster, and he's worked on his swing. He wasn't a non-roster invite to Orioles camp, but this week, he's been up. He's been one of some of the players that the Orioles have had from the minor league that have brought up to the major league camp. Vance has had 2 at-bats so far. He's come in both games so far as a pinch runner in the later innings, and then stayed on to play either left field or right field, he's played left and right, playing him around. And he did that last year when he played. They played him around the outfield. But yeah, 2 at-bats so far, both of them home runs. So don't let the dude, I said it the other day, don't let him get hot.
Yeah, you can't.
If he has figured his swing out, if he gets that swing, and I always figured that the more time he got with good hitting instructors in the minor system, they would get his swing figured out. There's a really, really good thread from somebody from some publication or something on Twitter I saw today, and it's lengthy. It's like a lengthy thread about looking at him in his first two at bats and breaking down his swing and his stance and his approach. And it's fascinating to look at it. In fact, I retweeted the initial tweet in the thread today. So if you go back to happen to go to my Twitter, you can see that. It's just fascinating. He's talking about his hands, and he's got his hands. His hands are more now in where they were when he was in college. He'd gotten away from that with his stance. Also getting his foot up and down on his swing. Things are just starting to line up a lot better for him in these first two at bats. He continues. Let's see if he continues. He is. He's still only 22.
23.
He turns 20. I think he turned 23 this year. I think that's right. But yeah, that was a breaking.
And them home runs ain't off scrubs either.
No,
those
they're not.
Home runs are off legit pitchers.
Yeah. So
they got good stuff.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, I wanted to take a quick break from that because the other thing I will give you the other thing. And I'll put a plug in for this. The other thing. Once the season gets kicked off, minors and majors, I started doing it last year because there used to be a Twitter account that kept up with Diamond Hills and the pros, and that was major and minor leagues, and would daily put their stats out. And then the account left a couple, like 2 years ago. They left Twitter. And I was sitting there towards the end of last season going, you know what? I missed that account. And so I started keeping up with it, and I started posting it. So I fully intend at this point to keep doing that once the season kicks off on a daily basis. Next day, tweeting out the stats from all our Diamond Hills and the majors and the minors. So I intend to keep doing that. So y'all check that out. Y'all check that out when it rolls back, when the season comes around.
Yeah, and we'll make sure we forward that content onward.
Yeah. Yes.
Get it out to the masses.
Yeah, man. But
that way nobody can copy it.
And then I lost my train of thought. Yeah. And then I lost my train of thought when I started into the Vance talk. The other thing I was going to say, you were talking about Cooper's. You were talking about Cooper's bat. You're talking about Cooper's bat. The other thing that's all of a sudden come around is Owen Hull's bat. Last couple games, Owen he was already getting on. He was walking. He had like 10 or 12 walks on the season. So his on base percentage, while his batting average was low, his on base percentage was still like 455 or something like that because he's walking. But now the last two games, his bat's come around and he's starting to hit. Now he's not a guy that's he's not a guy that's shown much pop. Anyway, he's not a guy that's shown much pop. Last year, George Mason, I think he only had eight home runs. But he was an average hitter. He hit for average. Well, not average hitter. He hit for average. And he looks like he's starting to get comfortable. Cooper's the same way. Cooper's bat's starting to come around. Cooper's another guy. His on base percentage is pretty high because he walks and gets hit a lot. He's gotten hit several times. And he walks too. Yeah, his plate discipline is good as well. So he's taking walks too. So both of them had been the lower average hitters on the team, but both their own base percentages were like mid 400s. So they're finding ways on base. Now once their bats get going, they're driving in guys. So things are coming around. It's coming around. So
he's over here pushing the buttons here. I'll show you. Our producer, the one that makes this thing go round. He's sitting right there with the button
What's
pusher.
up, kid?
And
What's up?
He says it's time to leave. He's tired of pushing buttons.
Well, hey.
So when he says it's time to go, it's time to go.
We're gonna get out of here then.
So if anybody ever wondered, how the Hill Brothers gets made, well, there's the man behind it all right there with it. He's got his own computer set up. He sits right here and pushes buttons.
Hey, the man behind the curtain.
Man, good luck to both the softball team and the baseball team this weekend. This has been another episode of Full Count Carolina. And as always,
Go Heels.